Welcome to YMCA 360. I'm Chef Boy, and I'm here to make sweet bacon chicken bites. This is gonna be amazing, so go get your ingredients and come back and let's start grilling.
And this is my daughter Anna, and today we're going to be making sweet chicken bacon wraps. This is a super easy recipe and it's so delicious. Everyone that tries one is going to like it. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, but first make sure that your hair is tied back and you've washed your hands. Well, we want to make sure that we're just starting off super clean. And if you've printed out your recipe, just make sure that you're referring back to it for all of your measurements. Keep looking back and make sure that you have the right ingredients and the right amounts. So we're gonna go ahead and start by measuring out our spices. So this is gonna be chicken wrapped with bacon and then rolled in a sweet spice. So we'll go ahead and start with our spices. We're gonna put in 2/3 cup firmly packed brown sugar. So when you're measuring brown sugar, hold on just a second to get our 1/3 cup, you can actually pack it into the cup. So I'll do the first one. If we have 2/3 cup, how are we gonna measure that out?
2.
Yes, so I have a 1/3 cup and then I'm gonna measure it twice. So I'm gonna stick my cup into the bag, press it on the outside of the bag with my other hand, so that's gonna make 1, and then you go ahead and you can do the second one. So 2/3 cup of brown sugar, and then we're gonna add chili powder to it. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of chili powder. There we go. So a tablespoon is our big measuring spoon, and we wanna put 2 of those in there. So I'm gonna get it nice and even. I don't want to be measuring this over my bowl. I want to be doing it over a board or another bowl before I add it in. So that's 1. You can do the same thing. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons, and then we're going to need a spoon to mix it up. There we go. So you can go ahead and mix that up. So once she's mixed that up, then we have all of our spices ready to go. We're gonna use 2 chicken breasts here. And when you take it out of the package, you can see that it has a lot of extra fat on it, and we wanna trim all that fat off. So when you're using a sharp knife, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're keeping your fingers away from the blade. So that's your biggest issue here, is just making sure that those fingers are out of the way. So cut off all the little extra white parts here. This is the fat. We want the majority of that gone. So we're gonna use 2 of these, making sure that my fingers are out of the way. Okay, that looks good, Anna. And then I'll show you you're wanting to cut these about the size of 1-inch cubes, kind of like the size of like a chicken nugget. So I'll do the first one and then you can do the second one. So I'm cutting it in strips, and then I'll cut these strips into smaller bite-sized chunks. So we're gonna cut these up into cubes, and then we're gonna actually wrap these in bacon and roll them in these spices. So good, isn't it? So I had these when we were visiting our family in Michigan over Christmas, and they were so good. So I came home and we did them in our cooking class, and everybody loved them. All right, I'll have you go ahead and do the second one. So there's 1 chicken breast. Go ahead. You can kind of use that same technique of just cutting it into kind of thick strips, and then you'll cut those strips into smaller bite-sized pieces. When you're working with chicken, you're gonna wanna wash your hands well before you start the next process, because you can have salmonella from the raw chicken juices. So while she's cutting, I'm gonna go ahead, rinse, use warm water and soap. All right. So you can see see she's being really careful about keeping her fingers out of the way so that she doesn't have any injuries. We don't want any cut fingers, do we? So Anna has been in my cooking class for what, the last 3 years? What are some of your favorite things to make?
I love making cupcakes. Those are always so much fun to like frost, bake. I like spaghetti and different kinds of soups that we made.
Yep. And this one is really easy, isn't it? This is so good. Okay, so we have 2 of those, 2 chicken breasts, and then we're gonna take the bacon. We're gonna take several slices of bacon here, and we're gonna slice these into thirds. So if you're looking at your piece of bacon here, you're gonna try to eye what it's gonna look like to cut it into 3 equal sections. So when she's done, I'll have her slice that sharp knife, being super careful with her fingers, and cut that into thirds. And then we have toothpicks here that once we wrap the bacon around the chicken, then you'll put the toothpick there to keep the bacon in place, and then you just roll it here in the spices. I'm going to talk about what we've done to the pan here. So before you start the process, you can go ahead and line your pan with foil. This is helpful for your cleaning up process because all of the fat from the bacon is going to drip through this rack here. And when you're done, you can just pull that foil together and just throw it away. And that way you don't have a messy pan. She is almost done there. I'm going to go ahead and spray this. That way these pieces of chicken won't stick to that rack and give us trouble when it's time to remove them. So like I said, foil on the bottom, you have a rack on top, we've sprayed that, and then now we've cut our 2 pieces of chicken. Okay, do you want to, like I said, kind of eye what 2/3 would be, or I mean, 1/3 of the way down. Yep, that looks good. Put some pressure, making sure your fingers are out of the way. All the way through, and then you'll just do that one more time. Switch sides with you. So I'm going to take this short piece of bacon here, and I am going to wrap it around the chicken, and then I'm going to take my toothpick and put it all the way through to keep the bacon around it. This bacon is going to give that chicken a lot of flavor. The fat from the pork is going to give a lot of flavor to the meat. So now I'm placing this piece of meat that I've wrapped with the bacon into the spices and just rolling it around. So this is going to give the chicken a sweet and kind of smoky flavor. The chili powder and the brown sugar will give it such a yummy flavor. So you want to work as a team, you wrap, I roll. So she's going to wrap the bacon around the chicken, and then I'm just going to roll these pieces in the spices. It's important to leave a little bit of space in between all of your pieces just so that the air can circulate around it. That's what's going to make the bacon crispy when we put it in the oven. I've preheated my oven to 350, so I'm taking your job, aren't I? I'm letting you wrap. So when we stick it in the oven, it'll be at 350, and we're going to cook it in there for 30 to 35 minutes. I'm going to check it and make sure that that bacon has gotten kind of crispy. At the last 5 minutes, I like to put it on broil just to make it really crispy at the end. Some of you may like soggy bacon, but our family kind of likes it crispy to finish it off. So awesome. So we're going to finish all these pieces, and again, just make sure that they're spaced out enough to let air circulate all around it. Good job. And the more hands you have working at this, the faster it'll go. So you can have siblings join you in the kitchen, especially once you've already used your sharp knife. You can have any age come in here and help you with this. Just make sure that you're washing your hands after touching the chicken and the bacon. Okay, Anna is finishing up our last chicken bite, and she's going to put it on the pan. I have my oven preheated to 350, so I'm going to stick these in there for 30 to 35 minutes.
Oh, wow, it smells good. looks like y'all are cleaning up. Can I help with anything?
Yeah, the chicken bites are ready to be pulled out of the oven. You can grab those
Oh, yes.
Oh, crap! So remember when you're pulling hot things out of the oven to use your oven mitt.
Thank you all for joining us at YMCA 360. Go out and make it a great day.